Now at 10, we have winter weather advisories in effect. I'm going to break this down for you.
Plus some tips for safely driving when the roads get icy. And a look at the safety precautions in place at Times Square as people get ready to ring in the new year.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Much of the 4-state area under a winter weather advisory. This is KOAM News at 10. Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy's got the latest right now.
Yeah, rain has been tracking into the area over the past couple hours, and that's what we have to deal with tonight is rain. I know a lot of people are out and about and will be over the next several hours. The roads are still going to be wet, so be careful out there. Temperatures are going to start to drop, but we had 66 today to wrap up 2021. Pretty nice day. We're not going to get anywhere near that over the next few days. Winter weather advisories along and north of I-44. I do think our southern counties will get some winter weather. However, not enough to warrant a winter weather advisory at this point in time, which is always good news. Look at the rain really increasing, especially along and south of the I-44 corridor. We even have some pockets of moderate rain from Mount Vernon, Neosho, back through McDonald County, Delaware, and stretching back toward Tulsa. And this is just going to increase as we go through the overnight hours. Look at all the moisture right across central Oklahoma heading off toward the north and to the east. But again, tonight, we're just dealing with rain, but some freezing rain and sleet, and even a little bit of snow for us tomorrow. We'll have more on that here in a bit.
All right, Doug, thank you. And with those icy conditions expected tomorrow, officials say it's better to just stay off the roads if you can. But if you do need to travel, there are some safety tips to keep in mind. Now, MoDOT says, remember, the bridges and overpasses, they're going to freeze first. And also, that seemingly safe road could still be dangerous.
The challenge with this one, I think, is going to be the fact that it's going to drop so quickly, the weather temperature. There's the potential for some flash freezing, and that's why we have to actually have people out on the road ready to treat it, checking temperatures, checking road conditions, stuff like that.
As he mentioned, before your trip, you need to check out road conditions on your state's Department of Transportation website. The city of Joplin's reminding people to have an emergency kit ready as the freezing weather moves in. Officials say that emergency kit needs to include plenty of water, which be at least a gallon per person per day for up to 3 days, and 3 days worth of canned or dried food per person. They also recommend that you include a battery-powered radio, a flashlight, first aid kit, and copies of important records. It's typically the biggest party of the year. Tens of thousands of revelers crammed into Times Square to watch the ball drop and ring in the new year. Surging COVID cases reduced that guest list to a socially distanced 15,000 spectators. Here's reporter Courtney Keeley.
Revelers are gathering at the crossroads of the world, ready to bid 2021 goodbye.
We're trying to begin our year as best as we can.
We're looking back saying, look how we celebrated going into 2022.
The NYPD spent the wee hours putting barriers in place to accommodate the limited crowd of 15,000. Spectators go through a multi-layered security screening process in order to see the 6-ton crystal-encrusted ball drop. But this year, officials are also checking vaccination status, and everyone must wear a mask.
Most importantly, we want people to be safe and healthy.
The U.S. is breaking records for new COVID cases, almost 500,000 reported on Thursday. Revelers here say they feel safe with the extra precautions in place.
I think New York is doing a good job with scaling it down, but still keeping life as usual as much as we can.
COVID worries are adding to the ever-present security concerns here. A lot of the police officers here are working overtime because at least 20% of the police force is out sick due to the coronavirus.
Rooftops on the Vegas Strip are prepping for the fireworks show there. And Chicago is going forward with what it calls the largest fireworks display in Windy City history, spread out over 1.5 mile stretch of downtown. The mayor is urging residents to make their own best choices.
In many instances, that's going to be, you know what, I'm good. I'm going to stay home. I'm going to watch it all from my TV.
Back in Times Square, the mass countdown to midnight is on.
Everyone's hoping for a good year and a little bit of a change from these past couple years.
Looking for a brighter and better new year. Courtney Keeley, CBS News, Times Square.
Always think about a 6-ton ball. There could be more flight delays on the way, this time because the Federal Aviation Administration has a number of employees testing positive for coronavirus. The agency says it might be forced to implement health and cleaning procedures that would reduce the number of flights it can handle. And since Christmas Eve, airlines have canceled more than 11,000 flights, and more than 1,000 have already been scrapped for this weekend. Tesla has recalled 475,000 vehicles due to camera and front trunk issues. The automaker says the technical defects may increase the risk of accidents. 2 separate recalls are in place. One impacts Model 3 cars made between 2017 and 2020. The company says over time, a cable may separate, blocking the rear view camera feed. The other affects more than 119,000 Model S cars that have a faulty trunk latch. That issue could result in the hood opening unexpectedly. Coming up, the U.S. lifts its travel restrictions for many African countries. Plus, we look back at some of the icons we lost in the past year. An American patriot, royal prince, and a Hollywood legend are among the notable people we lost in 2021. Here's a look back.
Isn't it rich? Are we a pair? Me here at last on the ground, you in midair. Where are the clouds? Isn't it bliss? Don't you approve? One who keeps tearing around, one who can't move. But where are the clouds? Send in the clouds. Just when I'd stopped opening doors, finally knowing the one that I wanted was yours, making my entrance again with my usual flair, sure of my lines, no one is there. Don't you love a farce? My fault, I fear. I thought that you'd want what I want. Sorry, my dear. But where are the clowns? Quick, send in the clowns. Don't bother, they're here.
Starting today, the travel ban on Africa is no more. The restrictions were put in place last month, keeping people from 8 southern African nations, including South Africa, from traveling here. Now, the decision was made as the Omicron variant began to spread, but received harsh criticism. CDC officials have since recommended lifting the restrictions because of data showing our vaccines are effective against Omicron. Easy-to-take medication is more effective at suppressing HIV in children and teens. That's according to a study in the New England Journal of Medicine, which shows low-cost, once-a-day antiretroviral drugs reduce the chance of treatment failure in children by 40%. The once-a-day treatment is already widely used to treat adults. Eating veggies, fruits, and whole grains can help pregnant women avoid gestational diabetes. Researchers in Finland say nutrient-rich foods that reduce inflammation also greatly lower the risk of gestational diabetes. A little later, how you can get dinner and a show to ring in the new year this weekend.
Plus rain, freezing rain, a little bit of sleet, a little bit of snow, and Arctic air. I'm going to give you those details next. Well, it turned out to be a great New Year's Eve. We have partly sunny skies, temperatures fantastic into the mid 60s. Then the clouds rolled in. Now the rain is working in, showers, even a few thunderstorms. And then Arctic air is also going to work in. So that's why, with the moisture around, we have a winter weather advisory in effect. This is southeastern Kansas, southwestern Missouri, along and north of Interstate 44. I do think we'll get some wintry weather, light amounts in our southern counties. I think everybody will at least get something, but a little heavier along and north of Interstate 44. All right, look at the radar. It's kind of lighting up over the past couple hours. You can see the showers, a few embedded thunderstorms increasing, rain starting to pick up a little bit in southeastern Kansas. We can zoom in a bit. This is all very light and then moderate rain once you get down south of I-44. So Mount Vernon, Monette, Aurora, Neosho, McDonald County, and then stretching back toward Grand Lake and then continuing toward Tulsa. And all this rain extends all the way down through Oklahoma. So all this moisture's got to go somewhere, and it's going to head toward us as we go through the overnight hours. Here's the main wave, which is going to slide out and go right over us as we go through the next 24 hours. Looks pretty good out there right now, but there are a lot of wet roads. A lot of people out tonight, of course. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Parking lot is full. It's New Year's Eve. So be careful because the roads are going to be wet. We're not going to have any frozen precip tonight, but they are going to be wet. Look at the temperatures tumbling. 39 in Yates Center, 37 in Iola. Then you hit the 50s. That Arctic front is dropping through, and you can see the cold air. The front really extends from about St. Louis, our region, back through southern Kansas, but 37 in KC. It's 8 in Sioux City. It's 7 in North Platte. So all that cold air is rushing south. Let's go through time. Let's break this down. Rain increases for us tonight. Here's 2 a.m. We're just looking at rain across the region. By late tonight, 4:30 in the morning, northwestern counties, you can see the pink, start to switch to freezing rain. That freezing rain line sinks a little bit farther south as we go through the morning hours. Here's 7 a.m. Let's go to about 9 a.m. So now the freezing rain line is from Lamar, Pittsburgh, over toward Parsons and Independence. And then if you live in Yates Center, Fredonia, Chanute, Iola, you switch over to sleet. You're going to get mainly sleet. That line continues to work south, and by noon, it should be into the metro area. Good news here is the heaviest of the moisture, it's out of here. So by the time it gets into really Pittsburgh, Joplin, Miami, Carthage, Neosho, the heaviest moisture is out of here. But during the afternoon, we're still going to get spits of freezing drizzle, a little bit of light freezing rain, a little bit of light sleet, a little bit of light snow. And with temperatures tumbling, plus you got to think of the rain, it makes the roads wet. And as we drop below freezing very quickly, the rain could freeze on the roadways. So that's what we got to watch out for. Still kind of spitting, light wintry mix late in the afternoon. Then as the upper level wave rotates in tomorrow night, we'll get a quick little bout of very light snow. But that could give us even a dusting across the region. So we are going to have some slick roads. Overall, this isn't a huge deal, but we haven't had any wintry weather for, gosh, 10 months or so. All right, so most of us are going to be in this glaze to 1/10 of an inch of ice. So not a big deal on the power lines or the trees, but again, some of the roads and a dusting of snow. And then our northwestern counties, you could get 1, maybe 2 inches of sleet and snow. So the farther north you work, the worse the roads are going to get. All right, we're going to drop into the 20s tomorrow. We'll make it an alert day. 10 tomorrow night, only 25 on Sunday. It does warm up Monday and Tuesday, and then Arctic air right back in Wednesday and Thursday with another chance for snow.
But we are starting off 2022 in the winter season officially, it looks like.
Yeah,
Finally got here.
It looks like it this week.
All right, Doug, thank you so much. Well, some New Year's Eve fun today. A barrel bash at the Lucky J Steakhouse and Arena in Carthage. People are able to get a meal from the steakhouse and watch some horse barrel racing, and that barrel race bash runs through the weekend. Well, still ahead, Alabama and Cincinnati match up in the CFP semifinal, and Kansas City Chiefs get set to take on Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Danny Terzer's got it all next.
Cincinnati makes its first college football playoff appearance today. The 4th-ranked Bearcats are also the first non-Power 5 school to compete in the CFP. Cincinnati, a 13.5-point underdog to the defending champs Alabama. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce in attendance. First quarter, Bryce Young to Slade Bolden, 8-yard score. Then Young pitches it back to Brian Robinson Jr., 23-yard game. He rushes for 204 yards, an Alabama Bowl record. On the same drive, Young launches it to DeCorey Brooks, 44-yard touchdown. That breaks it open 17-3. The Bama defense here, Desmond Ridder takes the sack for a 10-yard loss. Fourth quarter, Young finds Cameron Latu. Alabama cruises by Cincinnati 27-6 to advance to the national championship. The Chiefs are coming off a dominant win over the Steelers, where they clinched the AFC West, their 6th straight division title. This week, Kansas City travels to Cincinnati to continue their hunt for the #1 playoff seed. Joe Burrow is coming off a record-breaking performance in his team's 41-21 stomp over the Ravens. Burrow threw for 525 yards and 4 touchdowns.
This may sound crazy, but I see a young Tom Brady. I mean, this guy does everything. He does not look like a second-year quarterback that missed a lot of his first year. All the weapons we've talked about and all that, but you got to have a quarterback that can get it done, and he really does. We've got to try to find out some ways to make him uncomfortable. Easier said than done.
The Neosho boys took home the Black Bracket Championship at the Neosho Holiday Classic on Thursday night. The Wildcats came from behind to beat McDonald County 70-63. Caden Waters had a monster game, 38 points and 12 rebounds, and not surprisingly, he was named the tournament MVP.
You couldn't ask for a greater person to move into town, and I don't mean his playmaking, I mean as a person. He's a great man in person. So obviously you see his basketball skills, but just having a great kid like that has made it even more special. I don't know why he's here, but I sure am glad he is.
The Missouri Tigers opened their SEC schedule on Thursday with only 8 players available due to COVID-19 protocol. Leading scorer and rebounder Asia Blackwell was among those out of the game. The Tigers facing the #1 team in the country, South Carolina. Haley Frank, huge first half, knocks down the triple there, 21 points for Frank. LaDeja Williams gets the bucket and 1. Mizzou leads 32-26 at the break. Jumping to the fourth, Lauren Hansen hits the corner 3. Mizzou up by 6. Final 30 seconds, Aaliyah Boston lays it in. That ties it at 64. Game goes to overtime. Mizzou down by 1, less than 10 seconds left now. Hansen puts it in. That will do it. Missouri stuns South Carolina, taking down the #1 team 70-69.
We talked about this, that, great moments were created by great opportunities. And what a storyline this could be with only 8 players that could suit up. What an incredible storyline. So what are we going to do with it? And at the end of the day, we wanted to make sure that we were the tougher team tonight. We wanted to be the grittier team. We wanted to make sure we're first to the floor for 50-50 plays. And we're going to have to live with whatever happened from there.
That's a look at sports. We're back after the break.
We take time now to honor one of our many 4-state heroes. Art Montez served in the U.S. Army from 1966 to 68. The Joplin native was stationed in Vietnam, and we salute Sergeant Art Montez, our 4-state hero. Well, scientists in Europe believe they have found the biggest bug that ever lived after a complete fluke. In January of 2018, a chunk of sandstone fell from a cliff on a beach in northern England. The rock cracked open, revealing the fossil of a giant millipede. The creature, named Arthropleura, dates back 326 million years. Scientists gather the animal would have weighed about 110 pounds and been more than 22 inches wide, more than 8 feet long. And we want to talk about that is a big bug. That is a big bug.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to run into that.
I certainly wouldn't either. Something we don't want to run into if you're driving is some of this icy stuff coming our way.
Yeah, we are going to have some slick roads tomorrow, so be careful. And this is mainly due to not really the precipitation. It's going to be fairly light, but temperatures dropping so fast through the 20s into the teens. A little bout of light snow tomorrow night. On Sunday, we will get some sunshine. returning, but only 25. We warm up a bit on Monday and Tuesday, and then the Arctic air comes back on Wednesday and Thursday with some snow chances by Thursday morning.
Winter is here to stay, it seems.
Yeah, we'll see.
Doug, thank you. That's our time for now. We'll see you back here tomorrow night. Thanks for making us part of your night.